Welcome back for Starfield New Game Plus Made Easy Part 3 and the conclusion of the main quest. Today we're going to Arboretum 3 to choose whether or not we're going to take an ally with us to Masada, and then we're going to zoom through the final mission using my tips and tricks for the path of least resistance. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2 of this guide, I'll have links in the description as well as timestamps. If you have found these guides useful, please smash that like button for me and maybe even consider subscribing. I'm Late to the Gamer, this is Console and Control Gaming, and today we're taking our boomstick and completing Starfield New Game Plus as fast as possible. At this point, is it really necessary for me to say spoilers ahead? By now, you most likely know the drill. The entire point of Arboretum is to decide whether we're going into the final mission with an ally. And a short answer? No. But there's a good reason, and it all has to do with the encounters we'll be facing as we go into the final temple. But before we go in, let's just quickly configure our quick keys. I found that the final area is kind of strange when it comes to environmental negative statuses, so it's very easy to get frostbite or hypothermia even when you have high thermal resistance. It's just because of the snow on the ground. Sometimes it just hits you and sometimes it doesn't. So we want to make sure that we have 2 meds set and ready to go to take care of frostbite and hypothermia. Any damage you take while you have frostbite lowers your oxygen in chunks, and we want to make sure our O2 is topped off at all times to keep it moving. Of course, you should also have at least 2 items on hand in case we shoot our load too close to our own face. If you've seen the last guide, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The next things we want to slot are our mining laser, 1 Hippolyta, personal atmosphere, and phase time. We're going to be swapping between personal atmosphere and phase time pretty often in this final area. And finally, we just want to double check how many digipicks we have. If it's more than 4, we should be good to go. Now, just to let you know, in this recording, we're not going into the space fight before we land on the planet, and I will be cutting out the walking bit, so we'll just be covering the encounters. The first encounter on Masada is actually going to be your shortest. You want to immediately start making your way to these stairs up on the right, and as soon as the Starborn shows up on the screen, you want to hit that phase time and make it up to the steps. He moves around a little bit too much, and if you can get that shut off at the one at the very rear, that is the real Starborn Guardian Musa. And just like that, the very first encounter is complete. He's gone and we can move on into the mission. When you enter the area officially titled Buried Temple, as soon as we hear the Starborn, we want to hit that phase time again and actually make it to the roof of this building. All the enemies he's going to revive will actually try to get into a position where they can shoot you on the roof, which means you can shoot them. Instead of having to duck, dodge, and dive around looking for them, you can stand up here, let them spawn out, and we need to kill about 6 or 7 of these enemies in order to force the Starborn to actually show up. And we're just stalling for time, basically, just waiting for him to appear. Now, he can show up anywhere in this area. Sometimes he'll actually be in the building below me, but that's super rare. He'll normally pop out someplace that's relatively out in the open. You just got to get him to show up. And as you see, I've gotten frostbite already. I have not been here for very long, but frostbite creeps up on you quickly. Any minute now, he should be getting frustrated. Yep, there he goes. He's frustrated. That means he's going to come out now. So let's just wait for him to show up. And as soon as he comes in, we're going to just hit him right in the top of the head with our coachman. There he goes. Let me clear out. I think I cleared out these guys before I realized that he was right below me. And that's it. The second encounter is actually complete now. We can just grab his freaking ID card and be out. For this next encounter, you just want to make sure you have personal atmosphere on. If you're actually already running through the area like you should be, you should already have personal atmosphere activated. You just want to make sure that before you go through the anomaly, you reactivate it again on the way out so that you don't have to deal with this next guy very long. Right, as soon as you spawn up, he's going to hit you where you stop, and he's going to do his supernova and his explosion moves. What we're going to do is actually cut to the right immediately and get into this office. So we're going to unlock this. Of course, I've got my lock picking at max, so I get the blue lines, I get to set everything over, but I only had 1 auto slot. So what we're going to do, okay, I think I made a mistake here. I realized that a little too late. We're going to do that. Then we're going to shift over and grab this one. Once we're inside, now we hit the phase time. We want this phase time to continue when we get out of the second lockpicking game. The reason why you needed the extra digipicks, if you have your lockpick high enough, is to get rid of useless ones. So being that I don't have any more auto slots, I actually have to manually do this, and it helps to get rid of anything that you don't really need to look at. And this shouldn't take, I don't think this one took me very long at all either. Yeah, look, we're almost complete already. So I need a 1 and a 3. All right, as soon as we get into the software here, what we want to do is turn the turrets and the robots against them. As soon as you do that, you've made this room infinitely easier, just ridiculously easy. So recalibrate both of them to protect the current user, and then we're just gonna back right up out of here. This guy in front of you is always gonna be the fake one, and he's always gonna pop up in the back if you do it this quickly. Boom, and we are finished with the room. Grab his key card and move inside. Okay, now we're on to our next anomaly. I believe this is the crazy Russian dude. So we're just gonna shoot everybody immediately. Get him there, and you can just aim for a general area because the Hornet rounds are crazy. And look at how that guy, look how he died. Just, all right, and we are done with the next anomaly already. All right, the next section is the elevator section, which is kind of slow normally. I used to listen to Vlad opine for a while, but you can just turn around. You can just walk right back through and you're already done. But the reason I'm not cutting here is because something very important is coming up. What you need to do right now is take your cutter or anything, just don't have the coachman equipped whatsoever. So we want to make sure we unequip the coachman for this next section here. Pull out your cutter, hit your personal atmosphere, and as soon as these enemies show up, you want to hit your phase time for this encounter. He's just going to be duplicating you. And it sucks when you're getting hit by 10 versions of yourself with the coachman with Hornet rounds. It makes it very hard to do anything. So what we want to do is actually run to the far side of this map, almost to the door. The reason is the enemies with their weapons being so short range will lose sight of you and they will eventually despawn. If they don't despawn, maybe only 1 or 2 will come up here. But even if they do despawn, the Starborn is actually going to just get frustrated himself and just appear. So that's all we're doing. We're just waiting for him to show up here. And as soon as he does, we're gonna make our way to him, hit that phase time again, and then go into our options and put on the coachman. Couple shots from that, and the encounter is complete. So we can just make it on to our final encounter already. Just remember, hit your quick save, take your Hippolyta, and go inside. Now we're going to be actually negotiating our way out of this, but the entire reason why we didn't take the hunter or the emissary on our side before going into this mission is because they would have been duplicated as well, and their weapons have much further range and they will follow you to the other side. So by going in by yourself, you eliminate all the variables for that encounter. So we're just going to actually talk and get through here. The Starborn one is basically a 2-point freebie, and if you have 1 point of manipulation, you're actually going to be able to complete this encounter pretty quickly. Now I've only got 1 point left, and I always like to make the hunter laugh. And with all of that, we're actually done. We've actually just finished the final dungeon. As you see here, I think I probably covered this all over in about 8 minutes. I've probably had about 8 minutes of walking and riding elevators on here too. It usually takes me about anywhere between 13 and 16 minutes to complete this mission. On hard mode, maybe about 17 or 18. It really all depends, but I basically use the exact same tactics. If you guys found this useful, then I guess the only thing left to do now is grab your artifacts, go make some amp, and start picking up those Starborn powers. Guys, I do want to thank you for watching this 3-part guide. I'm Late to the Gamer. This is Console to Control Gaming. If you found this useful, hit that like button. If you don't find me annoying, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.